Thunderstorms are lining up to our west. A severe thunderstorm watch in effect across Illinois. What's ahead for us this evening?
A Greenwood mother wants to protect her children from drivers speeding through their neighborhoods. I'm Troy Washington, working for you to find this family some solutions.
We in IPS know that we can't do this alone, so it is open to everyone. We want to hear everyone's voice.
Racial inequity in education, how one of the largest school districts in the state is addressing this issue, and what's your input?
This is RTV6 News at 5, working for you.
Now at 5, finally, much needed rain after an incredibly dry month of June. Downpours like this one are a welcome sight for thirsty lawns, gardens, and flowers. Thanks for joining us here on this Monday. I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Amanda Starnes. You know, tonight we are on alert for more thunderstorms and a chance some could be severe. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory is in the studio with me tonight, tracking it all. Kevin.
And we're talking about thunderstorm potential and the coverage increasing. Many of you have been missed over the last 2 days. We went 17 days without measurable rainfall. Now we've had 2 in a row. The eastern half of the state has done the best as far as seeing more rain. And there goes the last of the thunderstorms that developed during the afternoon hours. All the focus right now over Illinois. The yellow represents a severe thunderstorm watch, and you can see the storms from St. Louis into central Illinois toward Chicago erupting. I do think as we go into the evening hours, remember the sun doesn't set until 9:15, we'll see more thunderstorms develop in the incredibly humid air. You feel that as soon as you step out. 86 in Indianapolis, 90 in Terre Haute. Our rain chances then this evening will continue to increase, especially from west to east. Temperatures stay in the 70s through midnight, and there's the probability of thunderstorms, some with heavy rainfall and the marginal or low risk for damaging wind. We'll get more into the timing and location of these thunderstorms, what it means for tomorrow and beyond, coming up.
Some Greenwood residents are fed up. They say they were promised something would change in their neighborhood when it comes to slowing down speeders. But they say since the start of the pandemic, there's been no progress. RTV6's Troy Washington is working for you and taking those concerns to the city.
Ellen Strong isn't the first to complain about drivers going too fast on Briarstone Drive in Greenwood.
Vanessa has recently moved, and she moved because she was sick of fighting the fight, and she moved into a new neighborhood.
Exactly a year ago, RTV6 introduced you to Vanessa Canchola. At the time, she lived on the street and reached out to us because she lived in such fear that drivers might hit her children. That fear only worsened after her cat was killed by a speeding driver.
I just want to protect our kids. Protect our kids, our animals. I mean, dogs do sometimes get out. I'm worried about our animals.
Strong doesn't want to move, but she does want drivers to slow down. There is a speed limit sign, but Strong says many drivers don't pay it any mind. In fact, they just blow right past it.
We were kind of excited to the fact that the speed limit sign was right out in front of our house since we had little ones.
But still around lunchtime and during evening hours, this mother is left in a constant state of worry.
As much as a parent tries really hard to teach their kids not to run out in the street, there's going to be accidents.
Before the pandemic, the mayor of Greenwood was working with the neighborhood to get something done to help them breathe easier. In fact, the police chief promised to put out traffic control boxes to monitor the street to see if extra patrols were needed.
We're dropped in the waiting for the city to help us protect our kids.
As of right now, these residents are still waiting, watching, and holding their breath each time a car speeds by. Working for you in Greenwood, Troy Washington, RTV6.
Thank you, Troy. And the chief promised to get those results to the neighborhood. And right now we are pressing to make sure that happens and to put this issue back on the city's radar.
1 week ago today, Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett promised a completely independent review of IMPD's response to the protest in late May and early June. And today he named the members of that committee. They are Deborah Daniels, a former U.S. attorney and U.S. Assistant Attorney General, Attorney Myra Shelby, a former judge on the Indiana Supreme Court, and Dr. Sean Huddleston, the president of Martin University. The review will be independent from the city administration, and IMPD has pledged transparency and complete cooperation, according to a news release from the mayor's office. The full report is expected by the end of the year, and it will be made public. As systemic racism is being discussed right now across the country when it comes to policing, so is racial inequality in education. RTV6's Stephanie Wade examines one of the largest school districts in the state, digging in to see what it's doing to fill racial inequity gaps for its students.
If you're an educational leader, you've got to be able to feel comfortable leading these conversations about race and racism because it's so impactful in everything we do in the classroom.
Indianapolis Public Schools says they've been working on anti-racism efforts for years, starting back in 2015, requiring all of its teachers, staff, bus drivers, even food service employees undergo a 2-day racial inequity training. A district where more than 70% of its students are black and brown. The IPS Racial Equity Office Director says addressing racial disparities is their top priority. Through study groups, working with principals, and establishing equity teams within each school, many not even realizing racial biases may be blocking their ability to see the brilliance and potential in students.
And so we help teachers start examining their belief system, that we aren't just talking about white teachers either. We're talking about all teachers because racism can be internalized by black and brown people. So you really start believing these negative assumptions and these negative stereotypes.
Come fall, IPS tells me they're hoping to involve students in this training after trying it last summer with a smaller group of seniors for the first time. Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
The district is also holding a series of virtual community town halls discussing race both in the classroom and outside of it. Their next virtual conversation is this Thursday from 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. Educational experts from IPS and the community will share strategies, resources, and tips. People can go to the IPS website to register.
It was another violent weekend in Indianapolis. IMPD is investigating 2 more homicides and several other shootings. Last week we told you the city is on pace to have a record-breaking year when it comes to homicides. And today several faith leaders came together to address this concern. RTV6's Megan Sanctorum explains why they say something more needs to be done.
Faith-based leaders say people in the community are fed up. They say shootings and stabbings never get easier to hear about. So now they're working together to address the root cause, come up with a plan of action, and create change. It's scenes like this, the flashing lights, the police tape, and a life lost. And it's a scene that keeps playing out in Indianapolis over and over again. That's why faith-based leaders are meeting today to try and figure out what else community groups and churches can do.
If we do not bring and heighten the awareness of it, we'll be way past the numbers of last year. So that's kind of the tipping point.
I reached out to the mayor's office and IMPD. They said they were not aware of the meeting today, but did say this year the city plans to spend about $4 million on neighborhood-level resources, violence prevention grants, and investments in traditional public safety operations. But some say with homicide numbers where they are right now, more needs to be done.
We're at a crisis. It's a crisis, and no amount of legislation by itself can fix it. It's going to take all of us to fix it. Family, it's going to take parents working together with communities, young parents, middle-aged parents. It's going to take all of us to stem this tide.
They hope to leave the meeting with ideas on how to get involved and prevent scenes like this. Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, RTV6.
And that meeting was not open to the public. We will continue to check in with these faith leaders and update you once they have a plan in place. Mark?
Now to the latest developments regarding coronavirus in Indiana. The state reported 13 more deaths today, a bit of a jump from yesterday's 6-day low of 5. The deaths reported today occurred between May 28th and yesterday. The statewide total is now 2,363. 277 more Hoosiers have tested positive for the virus, one of the lowest numbers of the past 6 days. The number of Hoosiers who have tested positive for the coronavirus is now at 42,633. Also today, the health department gave its weekly update of the virus's impact on long-term care facilities. There have been 1,140 in nursing homes, an increase of 58 in the past week. That's 13 fewer than the previous week, however. 173 facilities report at least one death. That is an increase of 9 over the previous week, the same as the week before. And as of today, the majority of agencies in the city-county building are open again. But if you have business in the building, you do need to wear a mask. If you don't have a face covering, one will be provided for you. Police services and criminal courts opened last week. All public services are now consolidated on the first floor, including property tax payments, property tax assessment and valuation. The county assessor, recorder, and other county agencies and services are also open again. However, juvenile, civil, and traffic courts are still operating remotely.
Still ahead on RTV6, shock and outrage at the site of a NASCAR race, and now the FBI is investigating.
Also still ahead, first was where's the beef when you went grocery shopping during the pandemic. Now it's look at how much it costs, the reason behind the spike in beef prices.
Where are the thunderstorms? They're over Illinois, but they'll expand into central Indiana this evening. We'll follow the timeline, talk about the changes ahead coming up. Gettable Jeweler.
Important recall news for parents tonight. Children's cough medicines Robitussin and Dimetapp have been voluntarily recalled. The specific products are Children's Robitussin Honey Cough and Chest Congestion DM and Children's Dimetapp Cough and Cold. The company says the recall is due to potential overdose risks. The wrong size dosing cups were put in the packages, which could cause parents to put too much medicine in the cup. The recall includes lots sold between February and the beginning of June. Now you can go to the FDA.gov to check out the lot number to see if you're included in that safety recall.
If you thought grocery prices were high a month ago, think again. Just in time for the start of summer, many of the meats we throw on the grill are spiking in price. Consumer reporter John Matarese looks into this latest price hike so you don't waste your money.
Looking for some steaks to throw on the grill this weekend? Well, you better bring some extra money. The pandemic is sending some grocery prices up again this month. The grill was sizzling at the We Smoking Barbecue.
Our land quarters right here.
Tyreek Ramsey has served the community from this food truck for years, but has been forced to raise prices with his pork rib costs up sharply.
We used to be able to get it for maybe like $1.99 a pound, but now we're having to pay almost like $3.99 a pound, so it's almost like double, triple.
While chicken and ground beef prices are higher, the worst is on steak, where prices have gone up almost 50% on some cuts. At Walmart, we found basic strip steaks for $12 a pound, $22 for 2 small shrink-wrap steaks. One of the cheapest cuts of meat, chuck roast, was $8 a pound. Jackie Thompson says she can't afford it anymore.
It's totally ridiculous, $15 for a steak.
Things weren't much better in the grocery store. We found bone-in ribeye at $15 a pound, $21 for 1 small steak. The Hutchinsons wonder if short supplies are to blame.
It's still pretty thin in the meat aisle, for sure.
They're right. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says processing plant shutdowns continue to cause shortages. It says beef prices rose 11% in May, 19% for beef roast. Also up, chicken, tomatoes, and even ice cream, the government says. Which means back at We Smoking, Tyreek has to explain why his price board has been going up.
Just had to go up a few more dollars, and a lot of the customers, they kind of understand, you know. We just kind of explain it to them.
Stores insist they're not profiting off rising meat prices, but Attorney General offices in several states are now investigating the source of these shortages. So always don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese for RTV6.
Steak, ice cream, all the good stuff, and you're going to need some ice cream because it's been hot.
Ice cream will be perfect for most of the week. Yesterday, hopefully folks had a chance to probably grill out but eat in. Was one way to do it. We had all those downpours around central Indiana, especially eastern half of the state. Okay, it's 90 in Terre Haute, 72 in Richmond. Recent rain means cooler temperatures, 77 in Greenfield. Indy's at 86. We had some rain at the airport, 900ths, just under 1/10 of an inch. But 2 days in a row, we've had measurable rainfall. Whenever the dew point temperature reaches the mid-60s, that's when you notice the humidity. And in spots today, it's been up close to 70, and it sits there now in Lafayette and Peru, so more tropical feel to the atmosphere. Humidity, though, will drop significantly as we go through the day tomorrow. Then Wednesday and Thursday, 2 very comfortable days, but no matter how comfortable it feels here, it comes right back up to those tropical levels as we move Friday into the weekend. Thunderstorms, they're organizing along Interstate 55 and just east of that now in the central and southern portions of Illinois. All this moving to the north and east. I do think we'll see this continue to fill in, and additional thunderstorms will develop out ahead of that main line. For now, just to the northwest of Connorsville, a little spot there with the downpour. Otherwise, we wait. Say hello to Lucy, and if you look closely, I think she's guarding the grill, right? That's the bottom of the grill, so she's got her spot picked out. Christina Harden sent in that picture. And Lucy, we love you, man. I love big dogs.
Lucy is a big girl. Jeez.
Even though I have a 5-pound Yorkie at home, I love Lucy. Temperatures in the 70s through the evening. It doesn't really cool off. Watch what happens between 7 and 11. There we are at 9 o'clock. More thunderstorms blooming. Any one of these would have some torrential downpours of rain because the humidity level is so high. That's the fuel for the thunderstorms, damaging wind possibility with some of the stronger storms. By 1 o'clock in the morning, kind of in eastern half of the state, the most active, then that swings away. We'll have a chance for some showers, especially early tomorrow. Then we'll take a break. Back to a chance for thunderstorms as we get to the end of the week. Temperatures tomorrow noticeably cooler in the upper 70s. Humidity is still there in the morning, but it falls through the afternoon, becoming more comfortable. As you look at the radar in the morning, a couple of scattered showers. Those are still with us in the afternoon hours as a strong northwest wind starts to drive in cooler, drier air, and eventually it will accomplish the mission. That wind out of the northwest anywhere from 15 to 25. Midweek temperatures will stay in the upper 70s. They're your highs tomorrow from north to south. Not much of a temperature range. 7-day planner, it will feel great Wednesday, Thursday, but we turn it around quickly. Open the door back up to the humidity and the chance for thunderstorms. Friday, 88. Chance of thunderstorms. Thunderstorms are likely Saturday with weekend temperatures upper 80s, close to 90. Mark?
All right. Thank you, Kevin, for that. The FBI is now investigating the discovery of a noose found in the Talladega Speedway garage of black race car driver Bubba Wallace. Wallace is NASCAR's only black full-time driver. Today, though, an incredible show of support from his fellow drivers before the start of today's delayed race. Drivers lined up and pushed his car to the front of pit road in a show of solidarity. A crew member found the noose last night after the race was postponed by weather. 2 weeks ago, Wallace successfully pushed NASCAR to ban the Confederate flag at its venues. Doctors in Italy say former two-time kart auto racing champ and now Paralympic athlete Alex Zanardi will remain in a medically induced coma following a crash on his handbike Friday in Tuscany. Doctors today said he is stable, but that he spent a third night in intensive care without change and that his neurological condition is grave. Zanardi crashed his handbike into a truck during a relay race. The former auto racer had both legs amputated after a horrific crash in Germany in 2001. He then became a Paralympic gold medal athlete. Live music is not a lost cause this summer. Some big nights of live music announced just today for Central Indiana. The drive-in experience to keep you safe.
Visit the Hiring Hoosiers job board.
Welcome back. If you thought your summer would be without live music and concerts due to the coronavirus, think again. Today, Live Nation announced its first ever drive-in concert series, and one of the venues is in Central Indiana. Country star Brad Paisley will be the headliner of the 3-night July event at Ruoff Music Center in Noblesville. Yacht Rock Review kicks it off Friday, July 10th, John Party on July 11th, and then Paisley on Sunday, July 12th. The artists will perform in person, but since everyone will be social distancing in and near their cars, there will also be big screens and speakers throughout the venue. You'll get a space to park your vehicle and then another right next to it for a tailgate area. There's a limit of 4 people per vehicle. Tickets go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. The IRS says it's seeing more scams targeting your stimulus check, and it does not involve any phone calls. Tonight at 6, what you need to watch out for to keep your money and personal info safe. And ready for a 500-mile challenge? Not one you watch on a racetrack, but one you actually do. How you can take part next at 5:30.